Welcome to Huawei's Microwave Top O&M Assistant video class. Hello everyone, I am Yang Shai-Shun from the GTS NTD team. Today I will talk about how to replace IF cables, wear ESD gloves. For single-channel IF boards, slightly pull the switch lever outwards to the 0 position. For dual-channel IF boards, turn off the power switch of the ODU through the NE Explorer. Before removing the IF cable, first remove the waterproofing tape. Align the IF cable connector with the IF port of the ODU and then screw it tightly to the port. Starting from the bottom of the IF port, wrap it in one layer of PVC tape. Starting from the bottom of the IF port, wrap it in 3 layers of waterproofing tape. Starting from the bottom of the IF port, wrap it in 3 layers of PVC tape. Use cable ties to bind the tape. For single-channel IF boards, slightly pull the switch lever outwards to the 1 position. For dual-channel IF boards, turn on the soft power switch of the ODU through the NE Explorer. That is all for this class. Thanks for your interest. Now after this class, you know how to replace IF cables. See you next class. Unpacking and checking materials. Open the antenna packing box and check whether the antenna is intact. Check whether the components of the antenna are complete according to the checklist. Assembling the antenna mounting bracket. First, connect the horizontal adjustment rod to the elevation adjustment structure to form a mounting bracket. Then connect the Y-shaped structure to the mounting bracket. Assembling the mounting bracket and antenna. Install the mounting bracket on the antenna using bolts. Installing the ODU. Apply baseline to the ceiling ring of the ODU antenna port. Remove the 4 inner hexagon bolts from the transition section and rotate the transition section 90 degrees to change the polarization. Insert the hooks of the ODU into the hook slots of the antenna. Install the ODU on the antenna. Note that the IF port of the ODU must face downwards. Partially fix the 4 captive screws on the ODU and tighten them diagonally. Installing the antenna. Determine the installation direction and height of the antenna according to the network planning guide, and then hoist the antenna to the corresponding position. Install the antenna mounting bracket on the pole and secure the bolts. Adjusting the azimuth of the antenna. 1. Course adjustment. Hold the antenna, loosen the 2 nuts on the clamp, and rotate the antenna around the pole to ensure that the antenna faces the approximately correct direction. If necessary, use a compass to determine the azimuth of the antenna, and then tighten the nuts. 2. Fine adjustment. Loosen the bolt number 3 and nuts numbered 4, and then slowly adjust the nuts numbered 1 and number 2 on the horizontal adjustment rod back and forth. The adjustment angle of the antenna is from -15 degrees to +15 degrees. After the adjustment is completed, tighten the nuts and bolt. Adjusting the elevation of the antenna. Loosen the bolts number 1, number 2, and number 3, and then slowly screw the bolt number 4, clockwise or counterclockwise, to adjust the elevation angle of the antenna back and forth. The elevation adjustment angle of the antenna is from -15 degrees to +15 degrees. After the adjustment is completed, tighten the bolts number 1, number 2, and number 3. Installing IF cable. Connect the IF cable to the IF port of the ODU and use a wrench to tighten the cable connector. 1. Waterproofing. After the cable connector is tightened, apply waterproofing and anti-corrosion treatments by wrapping it in 1 layer of insulation tape, 3 layers of waterproofing tape, and 3 layers of insulation tape. Then use cable ties to bind the 2 ends of the tape. 2. Route the IF cable and make a drip loop. 3. Ground the IF cable. Determine the grounding position of the IF cable according to the actual scenario. Select the installation position of the ground clip and remove the sheath of the IF cable using a tool knife. Ensure that the shield layer of the cable is not damaged. Secure the ground clip and waterproof it. The angle between the ground cable and the IF cable should not be greater than 15 degrees. When the IF cable is routed vertically, the ground cable should be routed from top to bottom. The ground point at the bottom of the tower uses a U-shaped hoop for tower grounding. Before the IF cable is routed indoors, Secure the OT terminal of the ground cable to the ground bar at the feeder window. Installing a PGND cable for the ODU. Connect one end of the PGND cable to the ground screw on the ODU and the other end to the U-shaped hoop or ground bar. Checking the screw tightening. After the antenna is installed and aligned, tighten all screws according to the recommended torque. Check the installation of the antenna and ODU to ensure that the installation process complies with the installation guide and safety requirements. Determining the installation position. Installing floating nuts. Installing the RTN 950. Install the chassis in the specified cabinet position and secure the 4 screws on both sides of the chassis. Installing a PGND cable. Connect one end of the PGND cable to the ground point on the chassis and the other end to the ground point on the cabinet column or the indoor ground bar. Installing the power cable. Hold the power cable routed on the side of the cabinet to the power port on the PIU board and smoothly insert the power cable into the power port. After the power cable is completely inserted, push the power terminal latch to secure the power cable. Installing a board. Use a Phillips screwdriver to loosen the screws on both ends of the filler panel. Hold the screws at both ends of the filler panel and remove the filler panel smoothly. Hold the ejector levers on the front panel of the board with both hands and pull the ejector levers outward to make the ejector levels form a 45-degree angle with the panel. Slide the board along the guide rail of the slot until the board cannot slide forward. Press the 2 ejector levers of the board inwards and tighten the screws on the panel. Installing an optical fiber. Insert an optical module. Insert an optical fiber. And route and bind the optical fiber along the right side of the cabinet. Installing an NMS cable. Connect the NMS cable correctly and route it along the right side of the cabinet. Installing an IF cable. Connect an IF cable correctly. Tighten the cable connector and then route the cable along the right side of the cabinet. Power on.